guys, my name is Todd from COTO Cards, excited to be with you. Today we're doing something a little bit different, just sharing with you the beginnings of COTO Cards, kind of our Yu-Gi-Oh journey. I do realize that many of you will have absolutely no interest in this video at all, and we totally get that and understand. But if you do have an interest in COTO Cards, want to know about how we started doing what we're doing, this will be a video for you. Most of what we're doing with this video is for us, but we also wanted to share with you all as well. So if you're going back to the very beginning of COTO Cards, it started with my son Cohen, who was really into Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Everything was Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm a sports guy. My other son is really into sports. And so, you know, for the most part, where I spent most of my time was on FanDuel, DraftKings, big time fantasy football player, and that's what I did for fun. But my son just kept, really pushing these cards, and I wanted to find a way to connect with him. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna build a couple decks, and I'll duel with him every once in a while, and we'll see what happens. And I built some decks. I started with zombie decks because I'm really into zombies. So I decided to build a couple zombie decks. They were awful, just totally awful. But it was a lot of fun. And so as we kind of went down this road and started dueling against each other, Cohen would bring me cards and he would say, this card down is worth like $20. And he'd hand me a card and it'd say, this card is worth like $20. And I'd say, well, Cohen, just because somebody told you that it's worth $20 does not mean that anybody's going to give you $20 for that card. And he'd say, I know, Dad, I know. And he'd kind of go away. And then he'd come back to me and he'd say, Dad, this card really is worth money, and if you post it online, you can sell it, and the reason I want to sell it is because I don't use it, and I want to buy this other card that's expensive. And so, all of my fatherly instincts kick in, and I begin telling him, these are pieces of cardboard. Nobody's going to give you $20 for this piece of cardboard, but to shut him up, I decided to post a couple cards on eBay. All that it was an experiment to show him that these cards are not worth the money that he thinks they are. So we put a couple cards up on eBay. I wish I knew what they were, but I can't remember what they were. But they sold. Like, pretty quickly. Like, probably within 24 hours. They sold for like $20 and I was stunned. And so, I'm looking at these cards and I'm like, well, if these cards are going to sell, then let's start buying more packs. And so we started going to our local OTS store and we started buying packs. In fact, we had a system where we would buy 9 packs because that would put us over $30. And this is during COVID. This is 2020, somewhere around there. This is during COVID. My son is about 10 years old at this time. And so during COVID, we're buying these packs, but because there were no tournaments going on, they would give you OTS packs for free if you spent $30. So we would buy $30 of packs. We would get the 2 OTS packs and we would open them up. We would sell the cards. Well, on one day, when we got that OTS pack, what was in there was, we didn't know at the time, but it was an ultimate rare. It was our first ultimate rare that we had ever pulled. And it was this flaming meteor from hell, it looked like, just coming down. You all know it. It was a ultimate rare Nibiru. And I knew the card was expensive as soon as I got it. but I didn't know how much. And so I brought the card home and we looked it up. And when you know, that card was of $100 even. And I thought, well, all right, it's one thing for somebody to give you $20 for a card. It's a whole nother game for them to give you $100 for a card. So we listed it. And I thought, well, let's see what happens. And within the first 6 hours, we had gotten multiple offers on that card. Now, not for $100, but for $60, $75. And then, I got nervous. And the guy offered me $75 for the card. And I had never sold anything of that much value in, as far as cardboard. And so I counter offered the guy for $80 and the guy took it. Now, that was a good deal for him. It was eye-opening for me, and it really launched COTO Cards. That ultimate rare Nibiru will always be a sacred card to us because it really launched us into what we're doing now. Now, I wish I had that card today, and I wish I wouldn't have sold it because it's worth a lot more than the $80 I sold it for. But it really launched us. And so what we started doing was we started moving up and buying boxes. And it wasn't until King's Court. When King's Court came out, we decided that we were going to buy our first case. And I was scared to death because I was spending $800 to $900 on a box of cardboard. And I was terrified. And we had gotten that case of King's Court, and we did well on King's Court. Mostly because we got almost all of the really good ultimate or collector rares out of there. We had gotten, the F-Zero collector rares, the Rivalry collector rare. We had gotten most of the ones that everyone wanted. We got the Rhoda. And so we did well with King's Court, and from King's Court, every set that came out, we just kept increasing how many cases we were buying. All right, we're going to buy 2 cases. We're going to buy 3 cases. We're going to buy 4 cases. All the way to where we are today, where we buy anywhere. When a set comes out, we buy anywhere from, generally at the low end, 6 cases, at the high end, 20 some cases. And so that's kind of what we do at COTO Cards. But our very beginnings, we were buying packs. We were buying 9 packs. And then we moved up to buying boxes. And then we moved up to a case and then 2 cases. And now we're up to buying many, many cases, depending on the sets that are being released. But it all started as a way for me to prove to my son that these pieces of cardboard aren't worth anything. And I was definitely wrong. And now today we do it. I do it because I want to show my son what it takes to start a business and to run a business. But I also want to show my son how you treat people. And so what we try and do at COTO Cards and everything that we do is we try and treat everybody with dignity and respect. We try to value people. And, we make some jokes and we laugh and we have some fun. But ultimately what we want to do is we want to lift people up. We really do. And so this all started as a way for me to be a good dad to my son and to show him some of what it means to be a good man. And so that's kind of the very beginnings of COTO Cards. On our 2nd anniversary, we moved into YouTube. We absolutely love it. We're having a ton of fun, and that's really what matters to us. We love that people subscribe to the channel. We try to give information that is valuable to the community. We try and sell cards at a reasonable rate. We try to offer things that matter to the community. And we want to do it all in a spirit of having fun and in a way showing my son how to be the man that I want him to be. That's the very beginnings of COTO Cards. We're so excited to be with you. My name is Todd from COTO Cards. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Helps us out tremendously. We'll catch you on the next one.